Turning up the heat, how Arsenal's young guns and returning defenders are transforming training ahead of Club Brugge. As Arsenal push deeper into their Champions League campaign, Mikel Arteta faces an unusual blend of opportunity and pressure. An unbeaten run has lifted belief around North London, but a growing injury list and heavy fixture rotation have forced unexpected experimentation. With William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes finally back from injury and training at full intensity, the Gunners' defensive heart is regaining its rhythm. Yet all eyes are on the academy quartet of Marley Salmon, Max Dalman, Ethan Nwaneri, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, the teenage prodigies Arteta may turn to as Arsenal prepare to face Club Brugge. This news deep dive explores the transformation inside Arsenal training, the tactical evolution behind the scenes, the psychological pressure surrounding selection, and the bold, risk-laden strategy that could shape the club's European ambitions. Turning up the heat, how Arsenal's young guns and returning defenders are transforming training ahead of Club Brugge clash. A squad at the crossroads. Arsenal's Champions League campaign has been defined by an unusual duality: authority on the pitch and instability off it. An unbeaten run has lifted belief around North London, but a growing injury list and heavy fixture rotation have forced unexpected experimentation. With William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes finally back from injury and training at full intensity, the Gunners' defensive heart is regaining its rhythm. Yet all eyes are on the academy quartet of Marley Salmon, Max Dalman, Ethan Nwaneri, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, the teenage prodigies Arteta may turn to as Arsenal prepare to face Club Brugge. This news deep dive explores the transformation inside Arsenal training, the tactical evolution behind the scenes, the psychological pressure surrounding selection, and the bold, risk-laden strategy that could shape the club's European ambitions. Turning up the heat, how Arsenal's young guns and returning defenders are transforming training ahead of Club Brugge clash. A squad at the crossroads. Arsenal's Champions League campaign has been defined by an unusual duality: authority on the pitch and instability off it. An unbeaten run has lifted belief around North London, but a growing injury list and heavy fixture rotation have forced unexpected experimentation. With William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes finally back from injury and training at full intensity, the Gunners' defensive heart is regaining its rhythm. Yet all eyes are on the academy quartet of Marley Salmon, Max Dalman, Ethan Nwaneri, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, the teenage prodigies Arteta may turn to as Arsenal prepare to face Club Brugge. This news deep dive explores the transformation inside Arsenal training, the tactical evolution behind the scenes, the psychological pressure surrounding selection, and the bold, risk-laden strategy that could shape the club's European ambitions. The return of Saliba and Gabriel, restoring the lock on Arsenal's defense, the partnership that defines a system. When Arteta spoke last season about rest defense, he pointed directly, if not explicitly, to the foundation built by Saliba and Gabriel. Their blend of physical dominance, anticipation, and ball distribution forms the backbone of everything Arsenal do, both with and without the ball. Without them, the team suffers. The press loses its cohesion. The fullbacks hesitate to invert. The midfielders check their runs. Opponents sense vulnerability, daring to play more directly. Their return from injury, therefore, is not just an update on a medical report, it is the return of balance. Training impact. Leadership, voice, and edge. At London Colney, witnesses to closed sessions described an immediate shift. Saliba, calm but commanding, resumed his role as the quiet general, adjusting lines, guiding distances, and resetting tempo. Gabriel, louder and more aggressive, added the fire that Arsenal's recent matches had lacked. Arteta's training is famously demanding. The drills are high-tempo and multidimensional, designed to replicate match chaos. With Saliba and Gabriel back, the defensive unit suddenly looked like itself again. Their synchrony, honed over years of shared minutes, seems almost instinctive. The psychological ripple effect. Defenders trust each other. Goalkeepers trust their backline. Midfielders trust the structure behind them. Wingers trust that they can commit forward runs. The ripple effect of Saliba and Gabriel's return has traveled through the squad. Some players even admitted privately, according to Training Ground insiders, that their confidence rises by at least 20% when the primary center-back pairing is available. Resultantly, training this week has been sharper, more physical, more ambitious. Even the academy players have benefited. Facing two of Europe's best defenders has given them a real-world benchmark impossible to simulate. A crisis breeds creativity. Arteta's injury challenges. The numbers behind the rotation. Arsenal's injury list has not been catastrophic, but it has been relentless. One player returns, another drops out. One position stabilizes, another cracks. It is the kind of slow drip that forces tactical adjustments every week. By the time training resumed ahead of Club Brugge, Arsenal were without multiple established first-teamers. Squad rotation skyrocketed. Youngsters were called up. Starting 11s became jigsaw puzzles. Arteta's philosophy: adaptation without panic. Arteta's approach to adversity is rooted in preparation. He plans for contingency upon contingency, and he expects flexibility from every player. When asked about the youth players stepping in, he reportedly told them, "You're not here to fill numbers. You're here because you can help this team win." The message was clear. This is not charity. This is opportunity. Why Brugge matters. Club Brugge may not be European giants, but they are the tricky, awkward kind of opponent that can expose vulnerabilities. Well-structured, physically capable, and tactically disciplined, they punish complacency. Arteta knows that the unbeaten run in the Champions League must be protected, not for pride, but for momentum. A poor performance could trigger a downturn. A brave selection could spark a breakthrough. The hail and wave meet the teenagers pushing for a place. Marley Salmon, the versatile defender-fullback hybrid. Marley Salmon has been described, quietly, by Arsenal analysts as one of the most positionally intelligent young defenders the academy has produced in a decade. Comfortable at center-back, fullback, or even as a false fullback drifting into midfield, he has impressed Arteta with his composure under pressure. What makes him stand out? Reads the game unusually well for his age. Excellent passer between the lines. Confident in 1v1 defending. Tactically mature. Rarely caught ball watching in training this week, Salmon has been rotating between the senior defensive units, occasionally paired with Saliba or Gabriel to assess his reaction to elite-level physicality. The verdict? He didn't look out of place. Max Daumann, the midfield conductor with elite weight of pass. Max Daumann is a very different profile, a conductor, a metronome. Not physically imposing, yet technically exquisite. What he offers is tempo control, vision, and a sense of midfield geometry far beyond his years. One Arsenal staff member has described him as a young Verratti, minus the aggression but with more verticality. His standout qualities: precision passing, quick scanning, calm under pressure, ability to turn defensive phases into attacking platforms. Arteta loves players who can dictate rhythm. With senior midfielders fatigued or recovering, Daumann is quietly pushing himself into the conversation, not as a starter, but certainly as an option off the bench. Ethan Nwaneri, the prodigy who belongs. Ethan Nwaneri has already a record breaker, carries a unique aura around the academy. Arteta has been cautious, never wanting to expose him too soon, yet fiercely protective and confident in his trajectory. His gifts are obvious: ball carrying in tight spaces, rare spatial awareness, ability to play as a number 8, number 10, or wide creator. Close control reminiscent of a young Jack Wilshere, but with more end product. This week in training, Nwaneri has looked sharper than ever. His small-sided games have drawn applause. His work between the lines forced even senior midfielders to increase their intensity. He is pushing hard. Miles Lewis-Skelly, a midfield engine built for modern football. If there is one Arsenal youngster who fits the mold of an Arteta midfielder physically, it is Miles Lewis-Skelly. His athleticism makes him stand out immediately. He covers ground like a Premier League veteran, not a teenager. Key attributes: aggression in duels, explosive acceleration, ability to break lines with carries, relentless pressing energy. Skelly has excelled in high-intensity drills, and Arteta has reportedly tested him in a hybrid role, part number 8, part inverted fullback, the exact role that demands stamina, discipline, and tactical clarity. The whispers around London Colney suggest he is closer to senior football than many think. Training intensifies. Why Arsenal are turning it up before Brugge. The sessions: double intensity, reduced margin for error. This week's training has been some of the hardest of the season.
Players are not just fine-tuning, they are competing hard. Arteta knows this match could define the momentum of the next 2 months. In various drills, the pressing triggers were sharper, the passing combinations were faster, the defensive transitions were more rehearsed, the finishing sessions were relentless. Saliba and Gabriel's return has focused the entire squad. Their presence raises the standard in every duel. Arteta's demands: adaptability, intelligence, courage. Arteta's approach to youth players is simple. Be brave on the ball, follow tactical instructions precisely, earn the trust of your teammates. During mock tactical setups, Arteta rotated the academy quartet into seemingly high-pressure situations, breaking a senior press, defending transitions led by senior attackers, and participating in build-up patterns with first-team defenders. This was not hazing,